my name's Daniel, and I will be doing this last part of the devotional series we have been doing called For This Reason. Now, this last part is called For This Reason I Build, and I'm going to begin by reading the verse from a Bible. This is a physical Bible for those of you who have never seen one before. The verse is Matthew 7 verses 24 to 28, and it begins with Jesus saying, Jesus is speaking this, and let's just read it. Anyone who listens to my teaching and obeys me is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Though the rain comes in torrent and the floodwaters rise, and the wind beats against the house, it won't collapse, because it is built on rock. But anyone who hears my teaching and ignores it is foolish. Like a person who builds a house on sand, when the rain and flood comes and the wind beats against the house, it will fall with a mighty crash. Now, for those of you who don't know, I went to school to be an engineer. And I literally had an entire class about foundations, and half of it was rock good, sand bad. And basically, if you build a house on bedrock, it won't fail because of its foundations. It won't, and you can basically build anything on top of it. While if you build on sand or soil, you have to change it and compact it so it's like rock. And if you can't, you literally have to replace all of it and put it in something that you can build on. And it's that important, which if you can't make it strong enough, if you can't make it the foundation strong, you can't build on it. So in that same way, you look at how we build our lives and where we build our lives on. For building your life on rock is like building your life on Christ. That no matter what you do, no matter what God calls you to do, no matter what God calls you out to be, as long as you have that strong foundation with Him, as long as you have that strong relationship with Him, you will always succeed in one way or another. While if you build your life on something that's not Christ, it will basically fail. Because in this world, in this place we live in, there's only one thing that's eternal, and that's Christ. So building your life on that is basically always good. And no matter what God calls you out to do or be in the future, all of it relies on what you build, on how it begins, on how you first started off. And if that is flawed, if that is corrupt, if that is imperfect, or not imperfect, but like bad, you need to change it. You need to remove everything and replace it with something you can build on. So if you're struggling with building that relationship with God, if you're struggling to read the Bible, pray, take time to think about God, and to make one decision or another, you need to start with that. Because if you don't, anything else you do, anything else you do and try to do will just end up crumbling and failing and not working. And sometimes it might seem like it's working, but really it is just waiting to collapse. So that's in a sense what this part is saying, in which you need to watch out how you begin to build your life on. And many of you are very young. Many of you are mainly in high school and beginning to enter college. So you need to watch out where you begin that journey. Because if it's not with God, if it's not, if you don't have a strong relationship with God, if it's not a strong connection with God, then it will end up collapsing. And so I'm gonna like, this is kind of a short video, and I'm very blunt and just get to the, like, I'm a get to the point kind of person. So basically, it's, if you don't build your life on Christ, whatever you build will just collapse. That's essentially what this is trying to say. And I'm going to leave it off with this, in which, what part of your life needs to just be replaced, in which you need to just get rid of everything in it and replace it with something else. And what part of your life has a strong foundation with God? Which part of your life have you built a strong foundation with God? Because there's many parts of our lives, whether that's school, work, home, at home. So, like, which areas are strong? Which areas are built on God? And which areas do you just need to replace? Thank you for this time. Thank you for listening. And have a great time. Like, bye.